Okay. So yeah, so you don't need to drop a text box. You can just click anywhere and start typing. And the slider over here controls your text size. You can increase or decrease your text size just like that. We also added support for transcription. So you can actually transcription as well as translation. So you can transcribe in a language and have it translated as well. Um, and that can be also enabled or disabled from the settings in the gear menu over here. Um, we have support for a few different fonts. If you want to change the font, you can click on this TT symbol over here on the right, and that will allow you to pick the font that you want to choose, and it can change the font. We have a built-in highlighter, so if you just click on this button, it will decrease the opacity and it can become a highlighter. So since this is a little thin, you can increase the thickness and then you can see it's a much better highlighter. And if you want to turn off the highlighter, you can just click on toggle highlighter again and it will go back to being opaque. And if you wanted a dash or like a dotted line, that's the last tool over here. You can click on that and it can make a dotted line for you. Okay. So most of the teachers have uh, sample plans that they have made or PDFs of their work that they want their students to do. And it's very easy to bring that into whiteboard.chat. All you do is click on this upload button over here, and you can either upload the file from your computer or Google Drive. In both, in if just keep in mind that if you select Google Drive, it only shows PDFs and images which are uploadable. Those are the types of files that we support being inserted into whiteboard.chat. So those are the only files that will show when you click on this link, right? Um, you can select from computer and it will let you pick a PDF to upload. So I have a demo PDF, I can upload that. And you can see the PDF got uploaded. Now this was a multiple, this page, PDF had 3 pages. And what whiteboard.chat does is it creates a different page for each page in the PDF, right? So you can see in the overview also, you can see it created a book which has 3 pages in it, and you can observe all of those, right? And now let's say this, you're done with your plan, you're happy, you can, and once the PDF is updated, you can annotate right on top of that. You can, let's say this page 1, this page 2, this page 3. So once the PDF has been uploaded, you can annotate right on top of it. Okay. And let's say I'm ready, and then I can go and share this with my students, right? So I can, to share the information with the students, you click on the invite button on the top right over here. Do not copy the URL that is here in the browser. That will give the students access to your board. Click on the invite button over here, and there are a few different ways that you can have the students connect to your board. You can scan this QR code that is provided. We have integration with Google Classroom and Teams. You can click here to post it to your Google Classroom. There is this simple code that the students can paste onto their onto the main page where you saw the place to insert the classroom code and join. Most of the teachers copy the join URL link over here, can just copy it by clicking on this button, and now it's copied, and then you can share it, like in your Google Meet chat or Zoom chat or any other place that you want to share. So I'll share this link with my colleagues. They can join and act like students on this board so that we can see some of the features. And at the same time, I'll join as a student over here, so we can see side by side the teacher and the student view. So when the student joins on that, clicks on the join link, the students will be prompted to enter their name, and they can they don't need to log in or anything. They can just join the board. They can enter their name and they'll be connected, right? So now they have, each student who joins gets an individual copy, right? So the student can do the same thing, right? They can start just typing the answers in this case, right? And start working on the assignment that the teacher has given them, right? Or they're sharing with them. And then for the teacher, you can see that a couple of students have joined over here. So this is the overview that we mentioned, the grid view, right? So over here you can see all the students that are connected to your class board, right? You can see Pawan has joined, Sid has joined, and this is the other student. And you can see that this is a live view of what the student are actually doing, right? So you could see that Pawan placed a sticker. You can see Sid is doing, writing answers over here. And if you feel that a student is struggling, you can click on the board of the student and get a bigger view. You can see this is still a live view, and you can see Pawan is doing a great job. So you can join their board, and you can very easily give them like a sticker. So you can say, click here and say, give a sticker to him, right? Well done, right? And then you can go back to your instructor view. Okay. And the grid view is configurable. If you have a larger class, you can click on the settings button over here, and you can increase the number of students. We support up to 30 students in one page. If you have more than 30 students, you can just click on the next page and you will see the next 30 students in that grid view. So you can adjust the grid view based on your preference and how you would like to see it. Right.
You want to take a few questions,
yeah.
Right. Do teachers and students need to sign up for an account?
No, we do not need the teachers or the students to create an account for using Whiteboard.chat. You can just go to Whiteboard.chat, click on start teaching, start drawing, start teaching. It will give you a board and you can just start working. The only reason you would want to, as a teacher, you would want to create an account is because you can you get access to this manage board and the settings, your personal settings and preferences that you want. So these options that allow you to customize Whiteboard.chat, if you want to access those, then you need to create an account and be logged in to access that. And same thing for the manage board. So if you click on manage boards, if you're not logged in, it will ask you that please log in, and then you can see all your boards. You can manage them with creating folders and renaming them and things like that, right? But other than that, if you're just using it for teaching and you're not concerned about those two things, then you don't really need to create an option. Students never really need to create an account. All their boards are automatically saved by with the teacher's account. So let's say if I give this I give this a name, and then I go here, I can see this webinar. Under that, I can see the pages of all the students who have joined as well, right? And if I want to see any of those students' pages, I can click here and it will take me to that particular student's page. Okay. So the students' pages are automatically saved. Everything that you do on a board is automatically saved into our cloud storage. You don't need to, there's no save button. You don't need to explicitly save anything. Any operation that you do are automatically saved. The teachers or students, they're all automatically saved.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you show how you went to the grid view and modified the number of boards per row?
Yeah. So to access the grid view, you can click on this button over here in the bottom. It says grid view, just click on that. By default, I think it's 3x3. If you want to change the grid layout, you can click on this gear icon next to it. It says grid options. If you click on that, you can see it allows you to change the number of rows or the number of pages per row.
Right. Are there any lessons that are already prepared that can be reused?
Yes. So we have, if you go to manage boards, and there is a section called community boards where teachers from all over the world, they share their boards and we publish them, we curate them, make sure there's no inappropriate content on those boards, and then publish them to this section, community boards. And you can search them if you like a particular subject or a board. You can see or make a copy of it for your own for your own purpose. It will make a copy. If you click on this link of any of these boards, it will make a copy of that board into your account, and then you can access it from your account and make changes to it as you would like.
Where was that? These pre-created boards, how did you get there?
So you go to manage boards on the main page. So you go to manage boards, and then under manage boards, you click on the community boards link over here. That'll take you to all the boards that have been shared by our teachers around the world.
Right. And so when students work on these assignments, is there a way to download their proof of work or for grading?
Yes. So students can, once they are done, if they want to save their work, they can click on this download button and they can download their entire board. So in this case, there are 3 pages. It will download it in PDF format. That PDF will have 3 pages, or they can download just this page. So then it will have just this page that the student is on. And they can, once the PDF is downloaded, they can then upload it to wherever the teacher has asked them to upload it to. The teacher has a few more download options. They can download just their board, or they can download the entire class's board, right? So they can download a single PDF which has all the students' pages as well as their own pages. So if they want to use that for grading or something, then they can do that.
Can students return to their boards to see lessons to review later on? Yes.
So once you share the link, the join link that you got from the invite button over here, the students can come back to their board at any time by clicking on that same link. It will come back to their board and it will ask them to enter their name, and they just need to enter the same name that they had entered earlier, and they'll be taken back to their same board.
Right. And can a teacher identify any student even if they enter false join information?
So you can see who all are joined by, you can see, go to these 3 dots in the top right, and you can see, click on open class boards, and that will show you all the people who have joined that particular board, right? And so if you see that somebody has not joined in with their name, you can kick them out by clicking on this delete student, right? That will kick that particular student out of your class, and then they will be, if they want, they can come back and enter their proper name and join the class again.
I think you should keep going. Let's catch up with the questions a little bit. I think.
Okay. So as the students are working, we also have this feature for raising hands. So if the if the student needs any help, they can click on raise hand, and you can see on the teacher's board that it gets a notification that, hey, the student needs help. You can join that student's board by just clicking on that notification, and it will take you directly to that particular student's board, and you can help them out. You can help them out. Okay, the answer for this is bye, and then you can go back to your board. Right? Then most of the tools are over here on our left panel over here. So let's look at some of the tools. So there's simple tools like the line tool. You can draw lines or arrows. You can do different shapes, circle. By default, it will do any elliptical shape or circle shape. If you want a proper circle, you can click on Shift while you're drawing it, and it will make it into a proper circle. Same thing for a rectangle as well. There's the polygon tool, so you can specify the number of sides, let's say 6, and click on set, and that will give you a hexagon in this case, right? And you can specify the number of sides for that particular polygon that you want. You have a select tool. So let's say you wanted to copy a part of the board, you can just select that and then do either crop if you want to take it out, or you can do copy. So if you wanted to take out a part of the PDF, you would use the crop tool, or if you wanted to copy something, then you can just click on copy, and then you have a copy of that that you can place anywhere. You have built-in sticky notes. You can drop a sticky note, and then you can reduce the size of that. You can just type on the sticky note. You can just start typing on the sticky note, and you can see that everything that the teacher is doing gets instantly replicated onto the student's board at the same time, right? Sometimes you don't want that to happen. Let's say you are going over something and you don't want it to go to the student's board. You can click on the 3-dot menu up there and click on this toggle replication to students, and that disables the real-time replication, right? So if I click on that, it says, hey, real-time replication is disabled. And now if I were to draw something, right, that does not come onto the student board over here, right? So I can go over something, I can make something that I was explaining the students for, it doesn't go onto the student board. And then when I'm done, I can just click on this button to disable that, right? And now if I draw something, then it starts coming back onto the student's board, right? But these objects will not come onto the student board. If you wanted a particular object to still show up, an easy way to do it is you can pick the move tool and just move one of these a little bit, and then they will pop up on the student board. Yeah. Let's go.
I'll take a few more questions, Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you rename a board? I think there's a teacher who tried renaming it from the title bar as well as from manage boards, but was unsuccessful at it.
Yeah. So to rename, you just click on the name over here at the top, and you can just type in whatever you want and just hit enter after that. Just remember to hit enter. If you click away, it sort of thinks that you want to ignore the whatever you type. So make sure after you type in whatever you want, hit enter. Same thing on the manage boards. If you select a particular board to rename, um, if you select a particular board to rename, uh, uh, just hit enter. Don't click anywhere. Just click enter, and that will take care of renaming it.
Great. Is there a way to keep the boards from expiring?
Yeah. So expire, like I mentioned, that everything that you do on Whiteboard.chat gets stored automatically in our cloud storage, and that does cost us money. So there, all the boards have an expiry date, and to you can use this refresh icon on every board that you see over here to increase the expiry. So if I click on this, it will increase the expiry for that particular board. So now this is going to be expiring in April, right? So they're expiring in April 7. You can extend it by 3 weeks, basically, about 3 to 4 weeks by clicking on this refresh icon.
Okay. Well, let's see, I think there's, will students always see the instructor's board even if you have turned off replication to their boards?
Yeah. So the students see whatever the teacher has created in the lesson plan. So if you like the PDF that I uploaded, the number that I added, right? By default, everything does go onto the student page unless you turn off the replication. If you turn off replication, then those objects will not go onto the student's page.
Yeah, can you send an invite link and allow students to join only with their school email account and not any other account?
So you can click on this avatar menu, and that will tell you where, if the student has logged in, or if and what is their email, and if they are not using their school account, then you can basically use this open class boards and kick them out, right? And to force them to join by logging in, you can click on the gear menu, and there's this option, only logged in users can join the board. You can select that, and that will make sure that only people who have logged in will be able to join that board. So that way you can enforce students to log in with their email, school email.
Excuse me, can you say that again about the school email?
Sure. So the two steps to it. Basically, step one is you, on your board, you can select this option, only logged in users can join the board, right? So you enable that, and then people who try to join the board, they'll be asked to log in. Unlike when I clicked on the student link over here, it just asked me for a student name. It would have asked me to log in, and only if I was logged in, then I would be able to join that particular board. And then to see the students, you can click on this avatar menu at the top, and that shows you all the students on that particular board, and you can see the email that they have used to log in. And if they're not logged in with their school email, then you can use the open class boards menu and kick them out. So if you click on this delete student button, it will kick out that student from your board.
Thanks, Praveen. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, so continuing with the tools, we have the text box that we saw earlier. We also have a rich text editor for if you want to write longer paragraphs. It's has, you can do bold or increase the text size, and do bullets, add emoji and things like that, right? So it's a more enhanced version of the text box, right? And you can have larger amount of text as opposed to the smaller text box. We have a built-in infinite cloner for the teacher. So if you select that, you can just click on any object and just make copies of it. We have the ability to add a link onto the page. So you can click on that. And then you can say, add a link for a particular website. Good. You can save it. And then you see that link shows up on the student's page. And if they click on that, it will take them to that particular website that's provided in the link. We have a built-in dice. So you can place the dice on the board and then roll it. You can increase the number of dice and roll all of them. And to hide them, you just go back to the tools menu and click on hide dice to hide it. We also recently added support for adding favorites for your menu items. So if you click on this little heart icon, it will place it onto the top over here. So you can see that YouTube got added up to the top over here. You can also see all the tools by clicking on this little hamburger menu at the top, and it shows you, gives you a text view, so you don't need to hover over each and every tool to see what it is. You can see expand out the menu by clicking on this hamburger menu at the top. The website, and then we have a built-in math editor. So this is, if you're working with math formulas, it's much easier to type them with it has built-in support for all the math symbols. So if you want to know more about all the supported options, you can click on the three-dot menu and click on help. And there's a very extensive math inputs guide over here. You click on that, it'll take you to this document which covers all the different ways how you can add math input to Whiteboard.chat. We also have the erase tool over here. So if you want to erase, and just click on the erase tool, and then you can, erase stuff. You have a built-in couple of different type of pointers. There's this snake pointer, which is sort of, looks like a snake. It's colorful, and if you want to highlight or focus your kids' attention to a particular location, you can use that. There is also the spotlight. So sometimes it doesn't. If the child's bored because of network conditions or something, it's not updating properly, you can just always have them click on this refresh button, and that most of the times fixes the issue. So you can highlight using this thing. We have different calculators. We have a basic calculator that the students can use. You have We have a graphing calculator as well, where they can use it for graphing, and then they can take a snapshot if they want and place it. Yeah, is there any
Or can
other
you,
question?
Praveen, can you touch upon the compass tool as well, please?
Yeah. So the compass tool is basically, if you click on it, it drops this thing, and you can change the length by clicking on this outer dot, and then you can uh, draw using on the middle icon over there, the green dot over there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Is there something for math where I could do number lines partitioned into different sections, or no?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he'll be getting to that soon. Praveen, so she's just talking about the manipulatives and things like that. So maybe you
Yes.
can
Yeah.
start getting.
Yeah. So yeah, so getting into the manipulatives, I mean, we can cover over that now. So to access the manipulatives, you can click on the palette icon that you see in the top over here. If you click on that, you see two different tools pop up. This is just a simple color picker. It's sometimes easier for kids to pick colors from this as opposed to the other tool over here. So and then the other main part is the manipulative section over here. So this has a bunch of different manipulatives for math. You can just click on anything and then place it on the board. Right? You can we have a bunch of different types of letters, and you can scroll down and see more on this. There's letters in different colors, uppercase, lowercase letters. There's alphabets which are more playful for younger students. You have the math manipulatives. You have a 10 block, you have 100 blocks, you have 1 block, you have positive, negative block, you have a protractor, you have rulers, we have hexagon, we have 10 frame, 5 frame, number board, a bunch of different type of number line that the teacher was asking about, different types of number lines. You can just scroll down and see fractions if you're working with fractions. Yeah. There's also the rewards stickers that I mentioned earlier. You can just click on that and drop a reward. Uh, this is
Praveen,
actually,
can you show again how you can open up this panel, please?
yes. So it's up here next to the raise hand. It's the palette icon. If you click on that, and then it will open these two. This one is for just picking colors easily, and this is the one where you have all the different types of manipulators. Right? We have currencies from different countries across the world. Um, we have various different, electrical symbols, chemical symbols. These are very easy for us to add. A lot of these were added based on requests from teachers that we received. If you see something that is missing, please send us an email or contact us through one of the social media channels, and we'll be happy to add those for you. We add seasonal stickers as well. So we had Chinese New Year. We had now we added St. Patrick's Day stickers. So these we keep updating. The seasonal ones we keep updating every so often. In addition to these stickers, there is we have a few widgets as well. If you go on the widgets, there's a clock where if you click on this, again, the hamburger icon, you can get a menu that do you want the hands to be free or geared and updated. You can move it around, or you can use the move and resize tool to increase the size. And then you can move the time around to teach time to your kids. And right now they are free, but if you do geared clock, then it will update as a regular clock would, right? So we have the clock, built-in clock. We have a spinner, which you can spin around. It's editable, so you can again click on the menu over here, and you can take these out and add whatever you want, and update, and it will update it accordingly. You can have an option that students can spin or student can't spin as well. And there's a special type of spinner that we have, which is a spinner which has the names of the students. So you can see there are 4 students who on this board, including the teacher, and you can use that as a spinner, and any students that join get automatically added to this particular spinner as well. And I'll stop and see if there are any questions.
Yes, Praveen. So there's questions about the timer, which I think you can cover in a little bit.
Okay.
And is there a way to erase all the boards if kids are done with their activity, and so you can use it for the next class?
So what we recommend instead of doing that is that you can, once you make your lesson plan, you can click on this manage button and do save a copy, and that will make a copy of your particular board, and then you can use that. So your original is unchanged, and if you want to make a new copy, you can always make a copy of that and use that for working.
Can you make multiple copies?
Yes, you can make multiple copies. Just do save copy multiple times, and it will make multiple copies for you.
Can you copy one page from one board to a different board? Yeah, so I think a couple of methods to do that. There's so if you click on the copy page option that Praveen is showing right now, it creates a copy within the same board. There is a YouTube video that we just created to show how you can copy a whole page of objects into another board. So maybe I can paste that link here, and that'll probably be easier for you to understand as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going, Praveen. I think you can touch upon maybe the timer feature real quick. There's interest in that.
Yeah, I can cover the timer now. So I close this. So there's a built-in timer. You can see the little timer clock icon over here next to the avatars. You click on that. You can have a simple timer. Just add a time, set timer, and then this will show up on yeah. So you can see that it shows up on all the students' boards. To cancel it, you can just click on the cancel timer button over here, and that will end the timer for everybody. There's also an option that you can have the boards automatically get locked when the timer expires. If you click on this option, then when the timer expires, all the boards will get automatically locked. There are a bunch of menus under this avatar as well, but I think we are running out of time. Let me show you the bingo feature that a lot of teachers like, and I'll continue on these with that board. So one of the feature that a lot of teachers love and students as well is the bingo feature. So to do that, you have oh, sorry. So you have a PDF. There are a bunch of websites that allow you to create bingo pages, and all you need is a PDF that has different bingo cards for for different pages, right? And then you can go to whiteboard.chat, say start teaching, and then instead of using the normal upload button that you see over here, you can click on the manage book and select upload bingo. Okay, and then you can select your bingo PDF, and that will and that's it, right? So now when you share this link, every student who joins will automatically get a randomly picked page from the bingo PDF, and that will be their bingo card, right? So I'm gonna pick the invite link, copy that and post it onto the chat so that all of you can join, and then we can continue the other stuff. So when you click on that link, you will all be joined on the on my bingo board, and everybody who joins will get a different bingo card. And you can see there are students joining on this particular board. If I click on the grid view, you can see that the students they have different pages that they got assigned randomly from the bingo PDF. So so now going back to the avatar menu, I can click on that. Now you can see that there are a bunch of students over here. You can create group boards or create enable chat for your particular classroom. So this chat is a very unique chat because it let me join the over here as well so you can see. So this chat is a very it's a one-to-many chat. So the teacher, when it sends a message, goes to the whole class. But when so all of you should have seen the message. But when any of the students type a message, it only goes to the teacher. So the student's message you would not have seen, and it only goes to the teacher. So it's a one-to-many chat. So the students cannot use this for chatting among themselves. The only time they can do is like if you go to the avatar menu and you, let's say, create a group board and you enable the chat, then the people who are on the group board can chat to each other. The other cool feature about this is that we have built-in support for translation for the chat. So the student can pick a language, a chat language, default is English, and let's say they go pick Spanish as their language, right? And then let's say they refresh. So they can see that I'd sent hi and it was converted into Spanish. It was translated into Spanish. And this happens in real time. So you can see that it's going as Spanish to this particular student. And if the student was to write back, so for the teacher also, if I, let's say, if I pick that my language is English instead of default, right? Just refresh it to make sure. And now let's say if the student types it in Spanish, it will get converted into English because the teacher's language is English. So we have built-in support for live translation as well. And this is helpful if you're communicating with students who have a different language, who speak a different language than you.
And can you show how did you enable the chat feature for students in groups?
Yeah, so to enable the chat feature, you click on the avatar menu at the top. And then if you have a lot of students, just scroll down and you'll see these buttons. So right now it's saying delete chat, but yeah, if I had not enabled it, it would have said enable chat basically, right? And then once the chat is enabled, if you create any group boards, the chat will show up over there as well. There are other options as well that you see over here, like the lock class. So if you click on the lock class button, everybody will see this board locked by teacher. And now if you try to draw or do any operation on the board, you will not be able to do so, right? Until the teacher goes and unlocks the board. So this is useful if, let's say you had a particular deadline that you wanted the students to finish the work by. At that, when that deadline happens, you can go and lock the board, and the students will not be, they will still be able to join their board and take a look at it, but they will not be able to make any changes to it. And to turn it off, you can just click on the lock button over here.
Praveen, can you also cover the showcase student feature? I don't think if you haven't covered it already.
Yes. So showcase student is basically, again, if you want to show if a student is doing very well, and you want to showcase their work to the entire class, you can go to the avatar menu at the top and pick the student that you want to showcase. Now, when you just click on showcase, and everybody will be switched over to that particular student's board, right? And you can see that they don't see which student is being shared, so they don't know whose board it is. But so the teacher can then showcase that student's board, talk about it, what they did right or what wasn't right, and then when they're done, they can close the showcasing student board, and everybody will go back to their own board.
Okay, thanks. Another part I think that we had questions on was the dice widget as well.
Oh yes. Let's where to go. Yeah. So in addition to the other dice that I showed in the tools menu, we have the super dice. So this one is unique in the sense that it allows you to have whatever you would like to be options on the particular dice, right? So you can see that somebody spun the dice and it shows the name of the student who actually spun the dice. And you can change the options. It is configurable, so you can have fractions, or you can have number, you can have a combination of those. And you can also pick the colors that you want, if you would like us to not use specific colors that you want to use, you can provide them also over here. And then if you do update, that will update the dice to the options that you gave. And you can also have increase the number of dice. Click update, and there will be, and then you can roll it, and you'll see different options show up. So that's a configurable dice option that we have.
How do you increase the thickness of lines in the objects in menu?
The thickness of lines is over here in the bottom right. So you can increase that by just using the slider.
Can you hide multiple pages? Okay, sorry, can you hide pages in a multi-page board? So if you don't want the students to see them maybe until the next day?
Yeah, so let me go to, oh, let's say, so let's say I add, on my PDF, I had the 3 pages, right? And I wanted to only show the first page, right? And then, oh, sorry. Yeah, where is the, yeah. So you can go, you can click on this icon in the bottom left, which shows you all the pages in your book, and you can then right click on any page and do toggle hidden. And if you hide that particular page, then it will not be visible to the students.
Yeah, I think there was some questions during the registration about creating groups. Maybe did you already cover the pre-creation
No,
of groups?
no, I can cover that. Let me go back to the bingo board.
And also, sorry, one more thing. You may want to stop the recording now, and then we can continue answering questions.
Yeah.